It all started with a simple act of kindness, or so I thought. I had just grabbed a banana from the break room fridge, peeled it with the kind of care usually reserved for opening a gift, and took a big bite. Little did I know that this seemingly innocent moment would set off a chain reaction of chaos that would shake the very foundation of our office's professional demeanor. The peel, which I had so carefully discarded in the trash can, somehow found its way into the hands of my coworker, who mistook it for a valuable business card and began passing it around like it was the next big thing in corporate culture. The absurdity only escalated from there. One moment, we were all sitting at our desks trying to focus on our work, and the next, the banana peel had become the center of an office-wide conspiracy. Some believed it was a secret message from the CEO, others thought it was a prank gone wrong, and a few even claimed it was a divine omen signaling the arrival of a new project. It wasn't long before the entire office was in an uproar, with people arguing over who had the right to handle the peel and whether it should be disposed of or preserved as a historical artifact. To make matters worse, the banana peel somehow found its way into the hands of our intern, who immediately took it as a sign that we were all working too hard. He started a movement called the Peel Project, which aimed to revolutionize office culture by promoting simplicity and humor in the workplace. While some saw this as an innovative approach, others thought it was just another excuse for him to take more coffee breaks and avoid his actual responsibilities. As the days passed, the banana peel continued to cause confusion and laughter throughout the office. It became a symbol of our shared absurdity, reminding us that even in the most serious of workplaces, there's always room for a little chaos. And while I still haven't figured out how it ended up in the trash can in the first place, one thing is certain: this incident will be the stuff of office legends for years to come. So there I was, just another cog in the corporate machine, blissfully unaware that a single banana peel had already set its sights on me. You see, bananas are not your average fruit, they're like the sneaky coworkers who always seem to know when you're about to make a mistake. And let's be real, if there's one thing I've learned in my years of working in an office, it's that nature has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect them, especially when those curveballs come in the form of something as innocent looking as a banana peel. Banana peels are slippery for a reason. They're not just some random fruit skin, they're a natural hazard waiting to happen. The moment you take that first bite, you're essentially signing up for a high-stakes game of chance with the floor beneath your feet. It's like walking on ice, but with an extra layer of absurdity because, honestly, who would ever think that something so delicious could be so dangerous? I mean, if it wasn't for the banana peel, we'd all be eating our breakfasts with a sense of security. Now, you might be thinking, oh, come on, this is just a fruit. But let's not kid ourselves, bananas are like the office pranksters who always find a way to mess with you. They're not out to get you, but they sure do have a knack for making your day miserable. Imagine this: you're rushing to meet a deadline, or maybe even trying to impress your boss, and suddenly, you're face first on the floor, laughing because it's so absurd, yet so real. It's like the universe is saying, hey, let's add some chaos to your routine. The worst part about banana peels isn't just their slipperiness, it's how easily they can be overlooked. You walk into an office, and suddenly, there it is, a small, brown patch on the floor that looks like it belongs in a science lab instead of a cubicle. But here's the thing, no one thinks about it until you're already sliding. It's like trying to avoid a pothole in your car when you're distracted by something else entirely. And honestly, if there was ever a time for people to take notice of their surroundings, it would be during a banana peel incident. So why do we even bring bananas into the office? Well, I can only assume it's because they're healthy and delicious. But maybe it's also because we're all a little bit lazy when it comes to cleaning up after ourselves. You know, like that one person who always leaves their coffee cup in the sink, or that other coworker who never picks up the paper towels after using them. And let's not forget about the banana peels, those little troublemakers that somehow manage to find their way onto the floor without anyone noticing until it's too late. It all started with a banana peel, that innocent little yellow slipper of a fruit, which somehow found its way into the office break room. I was in the middle of my most important meeting of the day, trying to impress my boss with my strategic brilliance, when I felt the unmistakable sensation of something wet and slimy underfoot. It wasn't just any banana peel, it was the kind that had been sitting there for days, waiting for someone to make a mistake, and I was that someone. As I tried to regain my balance, my coworkers looked on in horror, their faces a mix of confusion, concern, and pure disbelief. Who knew a simple fruit could cause so much chaos? The moment the peel hit the floor, it was like a trigger had been pulled. The first thing that happened was a loud, exaggerated yelp from my colleague, Sarah, who was standing right behind me. She screamed as if she had seen a ghost, which wasn't far from the truth. Next came the sound of chairs scraping across the floor as everyone rushed to get out of the way, creating an impromptu stampede that looked more like a scene from a horror movie than an office environment. My boss, who was already stressed about my recent performance, had his eyes wide open and his hands gripping his coffee mug so tightly it looked like he might break it. As I stumbled forward, trying to figure out how to recover from the situation without making it worse, I noticed that the banana peel had somehow become a social media sensation. My coworker Mark took a video of the entire incident, complete with dramatic music and slow-motion effects, while my intern, Emily, was live-streaming the chaos on her phone for her 200 followers. The office was now a battleground of reactions. Some people were laughing hysterically, others were trying to clean up the mess, and a few were just staring in disbelief like they had witnessed an alien invasion. The real comedy came when we all tried to figure out who was responsible for the banana peel. Was it someone's breakfast? A prank gone wrong? Or was there some deeper conspiracy at play? We spent 10 minutes debating theories, with every possible explanation being more ridiculous than the last. My manager finally stepped in and declared that it was an office emergency, which only made things worse because now we had to document everything for HR. The banana peel had become a symbol of our workplace's absurdity, and I couldn't help but laugh at how something so small could cause such a big mess. In the end, the banana peel was swept up and tossed into the trash can, but its legacy lived on. It became the subject of countless jokes, memes, and even an office-wide contest for the best banana peel-related story. I realized that sometimes, the simplest mistakes can lead to the most unforgettable moments, especially when they involve a banana peel and a group of overreacting coworkers. Picture this: you're in the middle of a crucial meeting, trying to impress your boss with your latest project pitch. You're standing at the whiteboard, armed with markers and confidence, when out of nowhere, literally, your coffee spills all over the presentation. It's not just any coffee, it's that one cup you brought from home, which somehow managed to become a liquid volcano during the most important moment of your career. As you try to wipe up the mess, you realize that the only thing more dramatic than the spill is the look on your boss's face, part confusion, part concern, and a hint of disappointment that you can't even begin to explain. But wait, there's more. Just as you're trying to salvage your dignity, your coworker accidentally knocks over the stapler. Not just any stapler, it's the one with the broken spring that's been sitting on the edge of the desk for weeks. Now it's tumbling down like a rogue missile, and before anyone can react, it lands squarely in the middle of the coffee spill. The result? A sticky, dark puddle of liquid chaos that looks like something out of a science fiction movie. You're not just dealing with a mess, you're witnessing the birth of an office legend. As if things weren't bad enough, your intern walks into the room with a clipboard in hand, looking genuinely confused. "Is this a training exercise?" they ask, staring at the carnage. You try to explain that it's just a normal day at the office, but you're met with a look of pure bewilderment. The intern then proceeds to take notes on everything, every drop of coffee, every stapler mishap, and even your attempt to rescue the whiteboard. By the time they leave, they've added 3 new entries to their office chaos log, and are already planning a YouTube video titled, "When Your Boss's Coffee Becomes a Disaster." The absurdity doesn't stop there. As you're cleaning up, your phone buzzes with a text from your manager: "I need a progress report by 3 p.m. You glance at the clock, 2:59 p.m., and immediately feel the weight of the universe pressing down on you. Your mind races through all the possible outcomes. What if they think I'm irresponsible? What if they fire me for this? You're not just cleaning up, you're fighting a war against time and caffeine, trying to save your job before it's too late. In that moment, you realize that office life isn't just about deadlines and meetings, it's also about the unexpected disasters that turn mundane days into unforgettable chaos. From spilled coffee to staplers gone rogue, every small mistake has the potential to spiral into a full-blown drama. And yet, somehow, you're still standing there, trying to make sense of it all while your intern documents everything for posterity. You might be thinking, okay, so I slipped on a banana peel and ended up in a heap of embarrassment at the office, but let's not kid ourselves, this was more than just an accident. It was a full-blown comedy disaster that had everyone from the receptionist to the CEO laughing, or at least pretending they weren't. But here's the thing, every time I think about it, I can't help but feel like I should have known better. After all, banana peels are notoriously slippery, and if you're not careful, you might end up looking like a human slipper. And yet, somehow, I managed to miss that little detail. So what did I learn from this? Well, for starters, I realized that even the simplest things can turn into chaotic situations if you don't pay attention. It's easy to get distracted by your work, your coffee, or even your own thoughts, but when you're in a place where every step counts, especially at work, you need to be vigilant. I also learned that sometimes, the most mundane tasks can lead to the biggest disasters. Who knew that peeling a banana could lead to an office-wide drama? And let's not forget the fact that I was now the subject of countless memes and inside jokes, which is something I never wanted but somehow still found myself in. Another big lesson from this experience is the importance of communication. If you're going to be working in an environment where things can get messy, literally or otherwise, you need to make sure everyone knows what's going on. In my case, I didn't realize that the banana peel had been left on the floor for days and was essentially a ticking time bomb waiting for someone to trip over it. Had I just taken 5 seconds to pick it up, or even warned someone about it, I might have avoided this whole mess. But no, I went with the classic "I didn't see it" excuse, which is basically the same as saying I was too busy thinking about my promotion. But let's be real, this incident also taught me that sometimes you just can't control everything. No matter how hard you try to avoid slip-ups or make perfect decisions, life has a way of throwing curveballs at you when you least expect them. And honestly, I'm not sure if it was the banana peel or my own overconfidence that led to this disaster. Either way, I came out of it with more stories than I ever wanted and a newfound respect for the importance of being mindful in even the most routine moments. So, what's next? Well, I've started implementing some new habits to avoid repeating this mistake. For one, I now keep a small trash can near my desk so I can dispose of banana peels immediately instead of letting them linger like little time bombs. I've also started paying more attention to the floor and being more aware of my surroundings, especially in high-traffic areas where a single slip could lead to major chaos. And hey, if I ever do trip again, I'll make sure to at least try to laugh about it instead of letting it ruin my day. After all, some things are just too funny not to share.